Big injury news in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark is going to miss the next 2 weeks with a quad strain, at least the next 2 weeks.
This is actually an injury that was separate from the quad tightness issue, as Caitlin Clark described it earlier in the preseason, that she dealt with before. So it's a little bit of interesting situation given that it was the same leg, but the team is saying it is actually a new injury.
And I have to say that I did notice in the Liberty game, Caitlin Clark's shots were all very short. So it was showing that she wasn't like getting off, and she was having a difficult time making those threes, and a lot of explosiveness from those 3-point shots does come from your legs.
And if it were to be exactly 2 weeks, that would be 4 games that she is going to miss at minimum.
In one quick moment, everything changed. The WNBA's biggest hope, its brightest star, Caitlin Clark, hit the floor hard, and the whole sports world froze. Clark, the rookie breaking records and making headlines every week, was hurt badly after a tough foul that shocked fans and left her team scrambling. The Indiana Fever said it was a quad injury. She'd miss at least 2 weeks. But behind the scenes, people are starting to whisper something much bigger. Some insiders believe Clark's injury is worse than anyone saying out loud. And the most surprising part? Doctors helping her recover are reportedly urging the WNBA to take a hard look at the refs, saying their poor calls and missed fouls may have helped cause this moment. That's right. Medical experts, the ones actually treating Clark, are now said to be calling for an investigation into how rough things have been for her all season. This isn't just about one fall. It could be the result of weeks, maybe months, of nonstop rough play that was never stopped. Was this just an unlucky play? Or did the WNBA allow its biggest star to get worn down and broken without lifting a finger to help? Because now, what's coming out? The ignored signs, the growing rumors, and the wave of fan anger might just be the start of something much bigger. A full-on WNBA wake-up call. It all went down fast. Just a regular drive to the basket, until it wasn't. Clark got slammed. Not just bumped, not a soft foul, a full body hit. Her leg twisted the wrong way under her as she crashed to the floor. The arena went silent, then boos erupted. Replays showed what people feared. A late step in by the defender. No play on the ball. Just contact, high, hard, and rough. Clark stayed down, longer than usual, wincing. Trainers rushed over. It was clear. This wasn't minor. The ref blew the whistle, but it was too late. She had already taken too many hits. Like that this season. This one might have been the one that pushed her past the limit. Hours later, the Fever made it official. Clark had a left quad injury. Out at least 2 weeks. Maybe more, depending on what doctors find. Fans were furious. Not just because Clark was hurt, but because this moment was avoidable. The warnings were there, and no one listened. And now, new reports are raising even more questions. Was Caitlin Clark already injured before this play? Sources close to the situation say yes. They claim doctors who checked her out were shocked at how much damage was already done before the final blow. Some even say that if she'd kept playing, things could have gotten worse. Season-ending or even career-threatening. But here's what's even wilder. Some of those doctors are now said to be asking the WNBA to look into the refs and how often Clark's been hit without fouls being called. Let that sink in. Doctors, not fans, not media, are reportedly telling the league it's time to take action. This might be more than just a star injury. It could be a scandal. So let's rewind. Because the truth is, this didn't come out of nowhere. The warning signs? They were blinking bright red for weeks. Clark missed her very first preseason game because of left quad tightness. Yes, the same leg that just gave out. But after just a few days of rest, she was back out there. Full minutes, full contact, full expectations, and something felt off. She didn't have that same quick burst. Her deep shots came up short. Cameras even caught her on the bench, wrapping her leg in heat packs. That's not normal for a healthy player. Even coach Stephanie White admitted later. She didn't even know Clark was hurt. they only found out something was really wrong when Clark spoke up after the game. Think about that. Clark had to tell them she was in pain. She was hiding it, playing through it, taking tough hits game after game while acting like everything was okay. Why? Because the pressure to perform was massive. And now people are asking the big question. Was Caitlin Clark already playing injured? And did that last foul just finish the damage that was already there? Let's break it down. This wasn't one rough game. It's been happening from the start. Clark has been taking hits every night. Defenders grab her when she doesn't have the ball. They bump her on screens. They foul her hard and barely get called for it. The physical play is beyond tough. It's borderline dangerous, and the refs barely say a thing. No flagrant fouls, no ejections, nothing to stop it. Other top players get whistle protection for half that contact. Clark? She's treated like she hasn't earned it yet, but that's nonsense. She's not just another rookie. She's the reason millions are tuning in, and all this banging on her body night after night, of course it added up. This didn't come out of thin air. This was building, and now her body finally said enough. Fans see it. They see the missed calls. They see the different rules for different players. They see the WNBA letting its top draw take brutal contact without doing anything to stop it. And now that she's hurt, everyone's asking, why didn't the league protect her? But this goes beyond just the refs. The entire league's future is tied to Clark. Let's not pretend. She's not just a good rookie. She's the reason the WNBA is trending on TV and in sold-out arenas. She's the fuel behind the fire. Now that fuel is gone and everything is crashing. Clark's games broke viewership records. Her jersey sold out fast. Ticket prices jumped. Cities even moved games to NBA arenas just to handle the crowds. But the second her injury was announced, the wave stopped. Refunds started rolling in. Teams who planned for packed houses now face empty seats. The Chicago Sky moved their game to the huge United Center. Now it's half empty on national TV. The panic is real. TV networks are nervous. Ratings will drop. Advertisers are rethinking deals. Because here's the truth. The WNBA put all its chips on Clark. They never built a safety net. And now she's gone. But while the business world panicked, something even uglier exploded online when the news of her injury broke. Not everyone was sad. Some fans cheered. Yes, cheered. They mocked her. They said she was faking. They laughed about her missing games. They called her soft. And it wasn't just trolls. Many were fans of rival teams, especially Chicago and Angel Reese. Fans. The same ones who always say, "We don't hate Caitlin. We just don't like her fans." Well, those same people were now celebrating her injury. Go look at the Fever's injury post. The replies, full of laughing emojis, jokes, and hate. This wasn't a small group. It was wave after wave of awful comments. And guess what? That hate matches exactly what's been happening on the court. Clark's been shoved, grabbed, fouled, and nothing happens. And now that she's hurt, people say, good. This isn't trash talk. It's a pattern. A hate campaign, and the league did nothing. That silence didn't just hurt Clark. It gave permission to the worst behavior. But the worst silence, it came from the top. The WNBA leadership has said nothing. No statement, no public support, no crackdown on the rough play, no action at all. Nothing from Commissioner Kathy Engelbert. That silence says it all. It's been this way all season. Refs let too much go. Other players get away with things that would be called immediately against anyone else. Clark gets called for soft stuff. Opponents get to play like it's a street fight. And now the cost is clear. The league's biggest star is hurt, and fans noticed. People are asking, if this was another star, Sabrina, Diana, Ajay, would the whistle stay silent? Most people say no. Even her coach said the team didn't know she was hurt because Clark hides pain. Why? Because players like her don't feel safe showing weakness. The WNBA had so many chances to step in, After the preseason tightness, after the cheap fouls, after she got elbowed in the face and no call came, they stayed quiet. And now, the result is here. While they do damage control, the Fever have to face a brutal schedule without their leader. The numbers show the damage clearly. With Clark, the Fever's offense scores a solid 107.5 points per 100 plays. Without her, just 82.2. That's a crash. She's not just scoring, she's creating. Her passes, her movement, her ability to attract defenders, it opens everything up. Now that's gone. The rest of the team has to step up. Aaliyah Boston, last year's top rookie, becomes the go-to player down low. Kelsey Mitchell has to take over as playmaker and scorer, and role players like Lexi Hull, Sophie Cunningham, and Natasha Howard. No more hiding. Time to deliver. Their next games are against tough teams: Washington, Connecticut, Chicago. All strong and all ready to take advantage. This is more than a test of skill. It's a test of heart. But the bigger issue? This injury exposed something deeper. This whole league? It was standing on one player, one storyline, one star holding it all together. Now she's out, and the cracks are showing. The high ratings. Clark. The sellouts. Clark. The buzz. Clark. This wasn't a league-wide rise, it was a Clark bubble. And one. Injury popped it. Instead of using her to build a bigger base, the WNBA relied on her to carry the whole weight. They didn't spread the spotlight. They didn't grow other stars. They leaned everything on one rookie. And when it mattered most, they didn't protect her. Now they're watching everything slip. This was preventable. She needed rest after her first injury. She needed fair calls when the fouls got rough. She needed a medical staff to speak up sooner. They missed every chance. And now fans are asking the one question that cuts deep. Did the WNBA ruin their best shot at becoming huge? Because they didn't protect the player who made it possible? This wasn't just a tough play, it was a huge warning. Clark is out, and the ripple effects are massive. But let's not give up yet. Caitlin Clark isn't finished. This time off might be what she needs. Time to heal. Time to reflect. Time to come. Back stronger. The Fever will face fire. Other players will grow. And maybe, just maybe, the league will finally learn. Next time a once-in-a-generation star arrives, maybe they'll protect her, because the future of the league depends on it. Drop a get well soon CC in the comments if you're rooting for her comeback. Hit like if you think the league needs to do better. And subscribe, because this story is just getting started.